Why, hello there, lovely party people. How you doing? It's Wednesday night. Wednesday night is hump night. Chill stream night. How you doing? I'm Jake Johnson, voiceless and ready to rock and roll. Good to see everybody. Good to be here. Amanda, how are you? You get the gold star. Amanda says, hi, chat. Happy hump day, everybody. I hope everyone's week is good so far. And how are you tonight, Jake? Fine, except I can't talk. I'm working on it, though. I'll get there. I'll warm up. John Favlios, hey, y'all. I was debating skipping politics. Now, why would you want to do a thing like that? It's the best show on television. I understand if you got something you got to do, that's all right. Amanda says, hi, John. Tonight is not a political night. It's just a chill stream. It's Wednesday. April Rain's in the house. April, how are you, sweetie? She says, hello, Amanda, Jake, and John. I'll get it right. And April says, or John says, hi, hon. We get all the liberal trolls tonight. Well, it won't be tonight. We might get some, but it'll be okay. You got to understand, those are the people we're trying to reach. So we kind of have to engage with them. Kind of have to allow them to say their piece and let me give them logic over the head. That's how it works. But I understand. It's not for everybody. Amanda says, hi, April. And April says, LOL, I guess so. Ugh, John. Come on now. Y'all can't be besmirching my growth. I'll take it. Tonight's episode is brought to you by this hot cup of coffee, though it's not doing a whole lot of good, but would you like to have a cup of coffee with me? Sit down and chit-chat about the week? If so, get your brew on and pour yourself a nice hot cup. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. Also, hit that like button. Subscribe, share, support, and join. And if you want to show some love, super chat in the chat box. Appreciate that very much. Rain, sleet, snow, or shine, or no voice at all, I'll still be here. So, it's worth it. April says, I can dig it. It's a good song, isn't it? Yes. I see that, love. Get yourself better. I am better. I just can't talk. I'm working on it, though. I'll warm up in a minute. I've been driving all day. Whoa. Finally stopped. Thank goodness, says April. Heart. And Amanda says, sounds fun, April. John says, I understand, Jake. It's tough to fill full cups when it comes to those who know everything. True. You can't hear when your mouth is opened. That's a true fact. Is the screen too dark? I feel like I'm too dark. Let me lighten up a little bit. I'm so picky. I'm so finicky. Can I have some gamma? Is that going to throw everything off? Nope. Can't do it that way. Sorry. Let there be light. I'll live with it. Whatever. I feel like I'm in a smoky room. It's all right. It's kind of cool. Amanda says it's fine. Good. Fantastic. How's your week been? What have you guys been up to? John, what you been doing this week? You talk. I'll listen. That's a good cup. A barroom kind of night. Yeah, it is. I wish I could play you guys a song. I mean, I could play you a song, but I couldn't sing anything. Buckshot, what's up? You're my favorite reader. Thank you, Buckshot. I appreciate you. Welcome to the show. I try to get involved with it. April says, heck no, it wasn't. Hardy Country Devin graduated from the academy today. Oh, cool. Congratulations, Devin. And then I had to take CJ back, and that's another hour and a half also. Oh, there's another hour out into BFE also. Wait, are you that tarot reader? No, Buckshot, I'm not. I don't engage in imaginary games. I apologize that you misunderstood who I was. Amanda says, hi, Buck. And Buckshot says, hold on. How do I know you? I don't know. I'm famous. Does that help? You're not a tarot reader. I'm not. I wonder how I sub to you. You probably pressed the sub button because you liked my content. If you hang out, you'll see that you like it still. My channel is about anything tonight, whatever you want to talk about. Did you read the title? The hint's in the title. Tonight, we're talking about all things that are vomit-inducing about numbers, especially the number 13. And John says, oh, not much. Looking at new places to move to. I hate it so much. They changed the zoning on my place, though. Well, that's not good, John. Moving sucks, but it can be adventurous. And you can find some enjoyment in looking for a new place. You might never know what you're going to end up with. You never know where you're going to end up being. It might be a whole new life starting for you. Think positively. You'll get there. And April says, no Buckshot, no tarot cards here, but welcome anyway. Soph, how are you, Soph? Still got bronchitis, I see. Me too. I sub to you, so what's your content about, says Buckshot? It's all good. Well, it's different things on different nights. Tonight, it's just a chill stream. It's in the title. And we just talk. I'll read your chats. And whatever you bring up, we'll talk about. You want to know something, ask a question, I'll answer it. On Friday night, it's a chill stream, but it's a little more directed towards current events, that sort of thing. On Saturday night, it's politics. We talk about politics and religion. Sunday night is Bible study, and Monday night is Bible study. And that goes around every week that way. John says, yes, I'm hoping for a better place. Yes, it would be lovely to find a new place with new beginnings and new people and new surroundings. That is lovely. Congratulations. Isaac says, I'm watching you from the UK. Welcome, Isaac, and welcome, UK. How are you over there? I hope everything is good in your country. Amanda says, I can't stand moving. I got one more move to make, and then I'm not moving ever again. I hear you. Me too. Except I'm not moving to start with. There's my brother from another mother, Coal Creek Croft. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. Coal Creek Croft says the owner wants to stop rentals here in September. And though I would live out my life here, major doom. Not my first. I'm going to try for a lease for sale. Try a lease for sale. Well, Cole, that sucks, man. I know you worked hard on that farm, and that's not fair for her to just pull it out from under you like that. Amanda says, hi, Cole. And Soph says, how's your laryngitis, Jake? It's still there. I'm still struggling to talk. But I'm working on it. I'm taking a truckload of medicine every day trying to get it to go down. It will eventually subside. Maybe a lot longer than I want it to be. Cole says, I've felt like I've had a terminal disease that will pop up in a few months. But don't let that bother you. Eh? Jesus. Well, if there's anything I can do for you, Cole, please let me know. I'll help in any way I can. I know that sucks. But we love you. That helps. And John says, I hope you sort that out, Cole. Yeah, that's a rough situation there. I've been in Marine camp mode, though. I have a plan to fix it. and believe this is another crisis that will instead be best. Well, God does work in mysterious ways, and it could be that he sees that you're working and he wants to see if you're capable of doing it for real. I don't know that to be true, but it could be. I do know that most things end up being a test of some kind. What don't kill you makes you stronger and whatnot. I don't think platitudes are really going to help you out, though. I'm trying to be positive, but I hope you can achieve what you're setting out to achieve. Guess what this property is valued at, says Cold Creek Croft. 30 acres, technically. All of it, buildings included, appraises for less than $50,000. Really? That's not a lot of money for 30 acres. You did say 30 acres, didn't you? Yeah, you did say 30 acres. Wow. Shouldn't have started. I thought there was no hope before this. I was stuck in a fifth wheel, and then suddenly I get a farm. Well, things happen for a reason. If you did it once, you can do it again. I promise. John says, I'll be right back. The phone is dying. Okay, buddy. She got mad when I said this must be worth millions, but it's so remote the value is very low. Well, truth hurts. Was that before or after she told you had to move? Soph says, I have to go to the doctor's today just to make sure that everything is okay. I will let you guys know how it went on Thursday. Okay. Make sure you're doing all right there, Soph. Call the doctor, and give us the news. You got a bad case of loving, Jake? Cole says, plus, I have a good case. She used me as a caretaker. That case. She owes me thousands, and go figure, the judge. Here's 600 videos. Now you're thinking, buddy. Chat jumped, hang on. Where'd it go? Here's 600 videos. Where have I gone wrong? Yes, you're thinking now. Use that. Get them videos in order and make sure that it's known that you had a handshake deal by word of mouth that you could caretake that property and that she would provide you a place to live because of it. And that you got the videos to prove that you've been doing that very thing. Unfortunately, in this country, they can't just kick you out. You can homestead that place and not leave. And they'd have to drag you through court to make you leave. And that would take a long time. And if you got reason to be there, like you're doing what your end of the bargain was, they're not going to kick you out. Cole says, final word, I think this nightmare will, in the end, actually fix things more permanently. I hope so. Montana has some of the strongest renter laws in the country. Plus, no way I could afford it. Look where, right? Anything is hundreds of miles away. I hear you. Well, you're on the right track. I would agree with you on that one. If you made an agreement with her to caretake that property and you get to live there while you're doing it, she can't just decide you can't live there anymore. There has to be a reason. And if you're doing your end of the bargain, there ain't no reason. Home is home. I happen to appreciate that about homesteaders. Yep. Actually, she gripes about selling, so a lease for sale would work for her, too. I take all responsibility and cost. If I fail, she still gets it, right? And she lured me 400 miles away, never laid on rent once, changed health care, doctors, everything. Yeah, you got a strong case there. She can't just throw you out for no reason. That wouldn't be very humane, now would it? Wouldn't be very Christian-like. We'll say a prayer for you, buddy. Hopefully it'll all turn out in your favor. It was a slow night tonight. It's going to be one of those nights, I can tell. Nonetheless, I'm glad you're here. Have you ever had an irrational fear of the number 13? There are 800-mile round trips to move. I spent thousands, including to haul my library. She knows this. Her reason was she still feels anxious, but my learning curve was a hard one, right? Anxious about what? What is she anxious about? Amanda says, Cole, have you offered to rent to own the property or something in them lines? Well, that's what he was talking about, Amanda. Hard one. Got it. John says, well, I hope you get that all sorted, man. It's a headache. Yes, it is. And Sophie says, it has been 2 weeks since I've been sick. Sophie, are you sad fishing right now? That's the 5th time you've mentioned being sick and nothing else other than asking me how my throat was. I'm beginning to wonder if there's some other motive here. We all know you're sick. We all care about you. You don't have to keep reminding everybody. Curious Squirrel, what's up? Curious says, I think that's the lease he is talking about, a rent-to-own land contract. Right. Amanda says, hi, Squirrel. And John says, take a 1-a-day vitamin, Soph. Cole says, there may be a day when the fellowship of man fails and we break all bonds of fellowship, but not this day. This day we fight in a nice way. Would be 12th move in 10 years. Jesus. We don't want you to move anymore here. Curious says, hi, Amanda. Big hugs, everybody. Big hugs back at you, Curious. I feel as though the world is turning. Things are happening. People are moving and shaking. Sooner or later, all things come to a head. Nothing ever stays the same. Nobody ever gets out of here alive. Life, it's 100% fatal. You can write that down. Cole says, yes, plus I turned 65, so I will claim I have no strength. At any rate, no way will I leave until after the election and the chaos I expect. Right? That's a bad time to have to move for real. Curious Squirrel says, I wish I could send a link. I have one you might find a little funny. It's a live camera from the small city near me. It's on News Junkie in Watertown, New Jersey. Watertown, New York. Sponsored by Jake Johnson Properties. LOL. Yeah, that is funny. Amanda says, hey, everybody, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and Super Chat is available in the chat box if you want to show some love. I appreciate it. And you can send that link in an email, Squirrel. That's UntetheredLivestream@gmail.com if you want to send that link to me. I don't have the graphic to show you tonight, but it's UntetheredLivestream@gmail.com. I love my house because it's beautiful, says Soph. That's awesome. My house is beautiful too. Little rundown, but beautiful. And John says everyone's trying the best they can to cover their own ass, though. I'd love to have a community organization that backs up its members. It's tough out here standing alone. Well, you're not alone, John. We have a community right here, and we'll back you up any way that we can. We are limited in how we can back each other up, but we're here for each other, and that's what matters. And as we grow, we'll get better at that. And as the channel grows, I'll get better at having resources. Cole says, Buckshot, well, not you, Buckshot, the other Buckshot. Buckshot will support me too. Elderly lady owner is 5 hours away. Still stunned this property is cheaper than a new expensive truck, right? Some are $60,000 now, right? That is crazy. If I had $50,000, I'd buy the property for you. But I don't. I don't have $50. Sophie says, big hugs to everybody. Linda Davis in the house. Hello, Linda. How are you, sweetie? Welcome to the show. Cole says, Buckshot is the owner of the Denton Cattle Op. Denton or Denton? I'm Southern. Both of those are the same letter to me. Amanda says, hi, Linda. Hi, Linda. How are you? I feel like I'm warming up a little bit. I ain't quite as hoarse as I was when I started. It's lovely. La, 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 la. I can almost sing. I ain't quite there yet, though. Curious Squirrel says, I wish I had millions. If I had $1 million, I'd buy you an emu. Or something like that. There are so many good people who could do amazing things with a little help. True. But if you had $1 million and you engaged those so many people that could do good things with a little help, you would have $0 very quickly. Unfortunately, there's a reason people that have millions of dollars have millions of dollars. It's because they don't give it away. Cole says, supposedly, I have 120,000 family trust waiting, but set if my parents pass, already late 80s. So perhaps that can be tapped without losing them. I don't know. I do know somebody who had a trust who might could advise you in that. But I don't have any idea. I don't know what kind of trust it is. I don't know who holds the trust, and I don't know how you're connected to it. Those are all personal ideas that you shouldn't share here. But if you wish, I can put you in contact with somebody that has had a trust and knows how that works. I don't. Curious Squirrel says, I've always said I'd never be rich even if I had $1 million. Me too, because I'd give it all away. My room is all pink because pink is my favorite color, says Soph. Beautiful. My favorite color is oxblood. Maroon. I like maroon. Cold Creek Croft says, I'm dead broke for 2 to 3 more days. Very low on food, but no, not tobacco or coffee. Well, that's all you need. You don't need food. You can survive on tobacco and coffee. I do it quite regularly. The rest of my family is wealthy, so maybe. William, what's up, buddy? Hey, here we go. Jake, what's good? I'm good. You're good. The weather's good. This coffee's good. Yes, it is. Amanda says, hi, William. And John says, I got by on tobacco and coffee myself for a week at a time if need be. Been there, done that, John. Cole says it was fun last week, 5 days into withdrawals, as they sent my meds to Billings, seizure risk, so to the ER 130 miles away in Miles City. That's crazy. William says, hello, everybody. Cole, why are they digging you around on your medicine there? That's a long way to go for medicine. People keep telling me I need to go to the hospital. I'm not doing it, though. Jack says we need to start helping people besides on hating people. The world would be a better place if we can just love each other. They went to brainwash us to hate each other. They want to brainwash us to hate each other. All lives matter. Well, Jack, this is a fallen world that we live in. There are plenty of good people in this world, but the world is evil, and everything about it is evil, and everything about it that sucks you in is evil, and the only way that you can avoid that is to stay away from it and not be part of the world. And unfortunately, that means you can't partake in the worldly things. If you want to be in a sane reality, you cannot partake into the world, because the world is evil, every bit of it. So the only way you can do that is to cut yourself off from society and live like a monk. And then you'll be happy and no problems. But it's awful alluring, the things that the world has to offer. Cole says, total fiasco, but I ran into a dickhead pharmacist who blatantly violated HIPAA rules on me and was laughing at my condition. Wrong dude to mess with. I filed a federal complaint. Too little to justify. Why would he be laughing at you? Is there anything funny about what's wrong with you? Do you get a raging erection every time you have a seizure or something like that? I can't imagine why a pharmacist would laugh at you. And John says, I can't do a week without tobacco and coffee, though. For real. William says, I hope not true, but if so, not right. Oh, no, it is true. You're talking about the fallen world thing that I just said? It is true. We do live in a bad world. It is not going to get any better. The idea, if you read the Bible, the idea is to wait. We're here to tarry. The word tarry is used in the Bible. And so you just wait. You just bide your time. Because what's coming next, this is just a pit stop. What's coming next is what's important. We hadn't got there yet. I don't know how much I trust in that because I can't see the future, nor can I see beyond the grave. But I know that's what the Bible says, and I make an attempt to believe it. So, there you have it. Amanda says, I've had enough of doctors and ERs to last me a lifetime, right? Me too. And Cole says, because the USPS screwed up, should have been next day. Tracking number was useless. No update. Man. HR was 99 with 105 pulse and BP out the roof. And usually I'm lower than most. That's not good. Linda says, Amanda, I'm with you on that one. Enough doctors for a lifetime. John says, that's a shame, Amanda. I hope those days are behind you. I hated when my mother was in the hospital all the time. She did too. It's the smells. Or for me, it's the people with the knives that want to cut on you. Cole says, sorry to Gab. Point on above was asking God why, to stop that pharmacist from hurting others. That's why I surrendered to him as his agent of good if needed. Cole, you did the right thing. I'm proud of you. And William says, the world and earth is not evil. The people on it are. Well, I beg to differ with you, William. In fact, this world belongs to the devil. It is his domain. He is the prince of the air, as it were. That means that everything that happens on this plane is from a dark place. Look around if you think I'm wrong. That's not to say there's not some beautiful things here. There are. It's, in fact, the people on the earth that show some modicum of love and goodness. Most of the people are just rotten, but there are good people on the earth. But it's the earth itself that develops the evil. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. And there is only one thing you can do for that, and that is to get through it. Because at some point, God's going to take back over and set this world back the way he originally designed it. It is not that way currently. Right now, it is not the way God designed it. It's the way the devil's running it. According to Scripture, that is. That doesn't make me right. Look around and judge for yourself. If you think I'm wrong, show me a reason why you think that. Amanda says, I hope I am not too, John. Or I hope I am too, John. Thanks. Done with that. Got it. Jack says, crazy Jake, I wish the best for you. Thank you. What are you talking about? We need to stand up. America. Strong America. I agree, Jack. And I wish the best for you too. But why am I crazy? I call it like I see it. That's all. Oh, the chat's starting to move now. Cole says, short man syndrome was led as other guy out. Was led his other guy out. Was lead his other guy out. Led his other guy out. Obvious jackass lording it over others. Look at me. I'm a doctor. Glee was obvious. We all know this type and can only say, trust me. I hear you, buddy. I didn't catch that first line, but I got the rest of it. He was a jackass pharmacist. Shouldn't have been laughing at you. Fab Daddy, what's up, brother? Happy Wednesday. What is Triskaidekaphobia, or whatever that fancy title is? Triskaidekaphobia is the irrational fear of the number 13. You ever been nervous on Friday the 13th or have superstitions about it? That's Triskaidekaphobia. And other vomit-inducing numbers. Nauseating numbers. Like 23. Blech. Amanda says, hi, Fab Daddy, and thank you for asking about the title, by the way. Nobody else has touched that. Good on you. Cold Creek Croft says, I had to go back to the ER. Big expense. Insurance covered, though. They did not like my heart stuff, so full workup. EKG, x-rays, full labs, all okay. I'm like an old beater car. Dents and cracks everywhere. The trunk's held on by duct tape, but it still runs. Smokes, but it runs. Curious Squirrel says, it's the times we are in, Cole. I call it the pharmaceutical industry complex. Good words. Fab Daddy says, peace, Amanda. Patty Donahue, welcome back from Tennessee. How are you? Hi, Jake. Peace. How are you, Patty? Good to see you. super ER and the staff there are after 20 years working in ERs, happy to see, says Cole. It's nice to see people that care about their job for sure. Curious Squirrel says doctors and med companies are scrabbling for power. That is until they decide that they've done something wrong, and then they treat you like a drug addict because of the drugs that they pushed on you that you now need. And then they decide you don't need them anymore. And then you're left out in the cold, shaking. Rachel, hey, good to see you. Come on in. She says, hello, everybody. Amanda says, hi, Patty. And Soph says, Coal Creek, I'm sorry to hear about your epilepsy. I used to have a friend, and she was epileptic, too. So I know what it's like. Yes, it sucks. Amanda says, hi, Rachel. And Fab Daddy says, hi, Rachel. Curious Squirrel says, hi, Rachel. And Rachel says, hi, everybody. Coal Creek Croft says, Curious Squirrel, I heard that. No worries. So, this is nothing compared to some things I made it through. I think I'm supposed to bear witness, else I'd be gone already. How about that? E.A. Abdullah, what's up? Good to see you. Amanda says, hi, E.A. And Curious Squirrel says, Coal Creek Croft, have you tried the CBD oils? I haven't done tons of research, but I have seen good results with epilepsy. Jack says, spiritual warfare. That's correct. Spiritual warfare? Rachel says, Satan can pound sand. He does. Metaphorically speaking. Being that you're made out of clay, so yeah. He pounds sand quite regularly. Who was your greatest musical influence? Says John. That's a good question. I've had a few. The obvious answer would be Dickie Betts, Dwayne Allman, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Garth Brooks, oddly enough. Very underrated guitar player, that guy. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I just kind of do my thing. Thank you for asking. That's a very interesting question. Christine Marshall, welcome to the show. Smiley face and claps. And William says, how can this planet be evil? Because Satan fell to this planet and took it over. That's why. The whole thing started in the Garden of Eden. It was his plan all along. He runs this world. He literally calls the shots right now. Curious Squirrel says, Untethered Live, I sent the link to your email. I'll check it out as soon as the podcast is over. Amanda says, yes, Squirrel, CBD is great for epilepsy. I wouldn't know. I'm not a doctor. Consult your physician, but there have been studies on CBD that does wonders for things like that, from what I understand, but I don't know. Terry, welcome to the show. Hello from Northern Ireland again. Welcome back. How's the weather over there? I bet it's lovely where you're at. Cole says, Curious Squirrel, oh, I've dipped into that stuff since the 70s. Remote, damn Montana. Tiny, bulge in the road town. 1 bar, 3 dispensaries. So, yeah, he's got CBD oil coming out of his ears, probably. Amanda says, hi, Terry. And John says, hello, Terry. And Terry says, hi, Amanda, top of the morning to you. Linda Davis says, hi, Christine and Terry. And Sophie says, Cole, how long have you been doing with seizures? How long have you been suffering from seizures? Terry says, hi, John. Christine says, hello, everybody. And Cole Creek Cross says, and this year is time for Breaking Bad mode. I have plants now almost as tall as me. Lead pharmacist like a team leader. Right? Amanda says, hi, Christine. Terry says, hi, Linda. Curious Girl says, I don't have the phobia, But Friday the 13th is a lucky day. Not if your name is Jack DeMolay. Friday the 13th sucks if you're that guy. Terry says, Linda, sorry. Cole says, Soph, never. Seizure risk if I stop instantly taking the medication that he's on. It causes a seizure if he stops taking the medicine. He doesn't have seizures. He's not an epileptic, but he has medicines that would cause him to have seizures if he went through withdrawals. If that makes any sense. And I'm by myself out here. No one would find me for weeks, if ever. That's terrifying. And by the way, if you guys hadn't seen the new Untethered Live Facebook page, the link is in the chat. Go by and check it out. Get to know each other, share links and videos and pictures, and keep up with all things Untethered Live Universe. It's a nice place to be. Go check it out. Christine says, hi, Amanda, 1981. Somebody's got a good memory. Stalker much? Just kidding. Hi, Christine, says Amanda. Or LOL, Christine, says Amanda. And John says, hi, Rachel. I missed you there. Soph says, Cole, I will be thinking about you and sending you lots of love and hugs to you. You are a survivor and you will get through this. I know you're well, and I'm always here if you want to talk to me. Cool. That's sweet. Thank you, Soph. And hi, Rachel. What a beautiful name. It means something in German, but I'm not sure what. I saw it in a Sherlock Holmes movie, I think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for content all week, says John. Thank you, John. Jack says, I hope people wake up because the world is going to get worse. Choose God because we only can choose one. We can't play both sides. That's correct. Yeah, you can't serve two masters. Who do you serve? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Whom do you serve? You got to serve somebody. You can't not serve somebody. You can serve yourself, I suppose, but that's not going to get you very far, being that you didn't put all of this here. So you'll be pretty lonely. I would choose the one who created everything, but that's up to you. How can a planet be evil? William, I said world. I meant the world. I didn't mean the planet. Planet's dirt. World is evil. Yes, EA, you keep reminding me that I'm twins with Abdullah, and I don't know who that is. And Jack says, and if you are going to vote for Trump. Please, let's change this world, says Jack. William says a planet is not a planet, not this planet. No, I wasn't talking about any planet. I was talking about the world we live in. The atmosphere, the people that are here, the things that go on this planet. John says, Satan is no doubt pulling the strings above Biden and others like him. If you'll look closer, which I encourage you to do, and if you'll listen when I'm talking, you'll hear me say things that point you in those directions because I've been studying this for a long time. And I try to subtly bring it up occasionally, like in little titles or like in jokes, things like that. I'll point to you. Start paying attention. Look deeper. You'll find out that the more you look, the deeper you go, the further you get, you see the same thing. There is no greener side. We are on this side of the fence, and it's bad. Cole says, thanks, Soph. Honestly, hopeless doom was certain, until some usually better thing resulted. If a terrible one didn't happen, I would never have had these last 2 amazing years. Right? Way to turn a bad into a good there, Cole. Jack says, don't smoke weed, use CBD for pain and relaxing. I prefer opioids, but I hear it does the trick for some people. Amanda says a good guitar influence for Jake was also a local guy named Gene Goodwin. He was a great guitarist and a teacher. Yes. Yes, he was. He's dead now. But he did teach me a lot. I think he was talking about famous people. People that I learned from musically. A planet cannot be evil. Well, that's if you don't believe in God and Satan. You might think that, but you'd be wrong. Terry says, Cold Creek Croft, I watch QXIR channel, I don't know what that word is, a lot. An Irish guy. Lots of back and forth about pronunciations and stuff. Love the accent and the land. That's cool, Cole. I didn't know there was an Irish channel. Probably because I don't know what that word is. Soph says, do you follow AFL? If you do, what is your favorite team? I go for Collingwood. I don't know what AFL is, but if it's a sport, I do not. I spent all my life on this side of the microphone, so I never did get a chance to get into sports. But a lot of other people seem to really like it. I don't understand it all when I'm in a bar and people just start yelling at a screen and I'm watching it too, and I don't see what they're yelling about because all I see is a bunch of people wearing white walking back and forth. Christine says, I'm crying laughing over here. And William says, is Mars or Jupiter evil? Does Mars or Jupiter have people on it? You are trying to push literal meanings into my metaphorical speech. I said world, I did not say planet. Everyone else understood exactly what I meant. I think you did too. I think you just don't want to see it that way, but you will, because that's the way it is. Cole says, William, I don't know. Venus can get uppity at times, so I hear. Good one, Cole. I should have said something like that, but I didn't. I don't believe a planet can be evil. Well, believe is the operative word of that sentence, William, and you are entitled to that belief. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just calling it like I see it. And as I've said many times in this world, prove me wrong. Show me I'm wrong. If you're interested, if you heard something I said that you disagree with, show me where I've erred. I'll listen. Cold Creek Croft says, John, yep, I should check that out. Lots of options. CBD is getting really popular. Even Clint Eastwood has a company. Wow. Clint Eastwood, CBD. You don't even have to try to squint. I like it. I can see it now. Punk. Clint Eastwood, CBD. Go ahead, punk. John says, okay, thanks, Amanda. I'll look up Gene Goodwin. I don't know if you can find him. That's not a famous person. That's just a local person. He worked at Disney World. He was my guitar player for a little while. And he was very instrumental in teaching me a few things about theory, music theory. Terry says, the weather isn't the best, to be honest. Thanks for asking. We got the bonfires tonight. Oh, that sounds fun. Biggest bonfire in history will be lit at 21:30 GMT on the 11th of July in ℂ𝕦𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝 Antrim, Northern Ireland. Antrim, Northern Ireland. That's a mouthful. Yes, our world is a planet, William, but you know what I'm talking about. Terry says it will be on YouTube. Well, I'll check it out, Terry. That's going to be interesting to see the world's largest bonfire. Yes, E.A. Abdullah is your uncle, so you said. I still don't know who he is. Cole says, thank God I don't drink. I'd last about a day, and whoa, would definitely go out in a blaze of glory unless they tackled me first. I had to stop drinking. I used to wake up nude on the hood of my car with my keys in my ass. When I stopped drinking, I realized I'm the same asshole. I just have fewer dents in my car. Amanda says, John, you won't find anything on him. He was a small hometown guy. He was in one of Jake's bands, but that man knew so much and could play a mean guitar. Yes, he did. Yes, he could. He was nerdy as all get out, though. It's like if you took Buddy Holly and turned the nerd knob up to 11, that was Gene. But I do miss that guy. I'm sure he's dead now. I haven't heard, but I'm sure he's dead. He was getting on up there when I knew him in my 20s. In my teens, actually. I was 19. So. John says, Cole, thanks. But other than a few drinks here and there, I don't take any mind or mood-altering substances. Good for you, John. Coffee, too, though. Well, coffee's a drug, John. Coffee is a mind-altering drug. I know you balk at the idea, but it's true. Caffeine is a mind-altering drug. Cold Creek Cross says, Jake, I barely had time to download, but I may use some of your new album, Music for Videos. I will credit very clearly and happy to get your okay first. Cold Creek Croft, you know you can use anything that's mine. Here's the problem with that theory. Only one of those songs is not a cover song. The rest of them are cover songs, and you might get hit with a copyright claim if I didn't do enough to change the song. You know, I don't know if I did or not. I've never tried that. That's why I gave it away, because I can't sell it. But the first song, Elizabeth, you're most welcome to use. Now, you can use the other ones too, but I'd cut it up into little pieces and use the music parts, because those are not like the album. The AI won't be able to tell that that's that song. That's just, use it however you want to. It's yours. Terry says, I just remembered to hit the like button. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you, Terry. Jack says, William, listen, please. You can learn something. Thank you, Jack. Mr. Hugo says, you playing the guitar tonight? Well, I hadn't planned on it because I can't talk. I have laryngitis, so there's no point in playing if I can't sing. But if you really want me to, I will. And how are you, Mr. Hugo? So Fallon says, I'm having a mandarin this morning. And then at 12:10, I'm going to the doctor's. Well, you should probably let that small Chinese person go because they don't like being had. Yeah, that was funny. Amanda says, well, Gene should have been famous. And you did learn from him, though. I did learn a lot from him. But basically, I taught myself how to play guitar. But Gene taught me music theory. That's where he comes in. I learned a lot about music theory. I became educated about music through him. I was already playing. I've been playing for 10 years when I met him. And he brought a lot of that stuff to where I understood what was happening and how to use it. Terry says, thanks, Cole, brother. God, Colin Hildebettel, hadn't heard from you in a little while. How you doing, Colin? And Colin, have you met Soph? Soph, Colin, Soph. Hey, Jake, I made it. I had a panic attack a week ago, and since then I have not been there mentally. Well, that's not good, Colin. Why did you have a panic attack? And I can tell you how to fix that. John says, crap. No, he didn't say crap. My chat jumped. I got to find where I was at. Here. John says, okay, Amanda. I didn't see your reply for a few minutes on Goodwin. Amanda says, hi, Colin. And William says, then separate the two. Why? Everyone understood me, William. You're the only one making a thing out of something I didn't say. Amanda says, it's all good, John. And by the way, this is a fallen world. And if you want to get technical about it, the planet probably is evil too. That being beside the point, I didn't specify the planet. I wasn't talking about the dirt you're standing on. I was talking about the world you live in. You know, the world. That's why I said that word. That's why I didn't say planet Earth is evil. Although Saturn is evil. Did you know that? Saturn is the devil's planet. That was a joke. Abel says, make my day. Clint Eastwood CBD. I got it. Make my day. Smoke my weed. Soph says, Colin, I have anxiety too, so I know what it's like. Colin says, that was my first panic attack. Well, here's how you handle that. You have to control yourself. And you do that by breathing. Trust me, I suffered from awful panic attacks in my early 20s, the kind that would put you in the hospital. And they were rapid. I had lots of them, like 2 or 3 a day, until I learned how to breathe. It's all coming from up here. You got to control, center, find something that's comfortable, sit down, and force yourself to breathe slowly. In 2 seconds, out 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, out 2 seconds. Keep telling yourself it's going to pass, and it will. And eventually it'll stop happening. But it'll take time. William says, I'm not saying there's not evil on this planet. Well, there you go. That's the answer. Why are you being so literal? But it's not the planet, it's the people on it. You realize that they live in time, right? From start to finish. That area is called the world. Colin says, and Soph, do you get out of this? How do you get out? So it's sophisticated. I don't know what you're saying there. Are you talking to Soph? I think that had a typo there. I think you had spell check and thought you were trying to say sophisticated, because it's not a word you use. And Soph, do you get out of the state of mental unstableness? I think that's a question. Jack says, God, please everyone in chat. We all think different, but we're all the same. 100% prayers. That's true, Jack. April says, Soph, good to see you. William, Colin, Terry, MBTV, much love. Colin says, Soph, I got it. I figured it out. Jake, I got hit by that tornado. Really? It hit you personally? Like, that would be rough, man. I would say that would be panic-inducing. April says, Christine and Jack, good to see you. EA, much love, y'all. Cole says, was Gene Goodwin a brother? No, I don't think he was. Oh, a black man. No, he wasn't. Old KC talk. I got you. No, he wasn't a black man. If so, he has a YouTube channel, but no uploads for years. If he passed, I guess. No, he wasn't a black man. He was a white dude. He looked like Buddy Holly if you took the nerd meter and turned it up to 11. Really. He was an interesting character. He too suffered from panic attacks, as I remember. One time we were playing a show and he spazzed out on me. His arm locked up like that and he couldn't play. We fixed him though. Soph says, Colin, sorry to hear that. That was your first panic attack. That sucks. I will give you some remedies to help you with your panic attacks. There you go. You made a friend. Amanda says, LOL, Jake, naked on the car. It happens. I'm not trying to argue with you, Jake. It kind of sounds like it, but that's okay. I understand. April says, Jake, I loved the music. I listen to it every day. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you so much. I reckon I can do that again if I can find it. Hang on a second. I'm working on it. Folders. Share. No. Go to that folder. Here we go. I found it. I got it. All right. There's the link in the chat. And I'm going to pin that link to the top. So, if you guys would like to own an album that I've released recently, the link is in the pinned chat at the top. Go download it. It's yours. I hope you enjoy. And April, I'm glad you like it. Terry says that car joke was funny, Untethered. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's not mine, though. I stole that from Robin Williams. Jack says Jimi Hendrix is the best guitar player. Watch his videos. It's amazing. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix was good. Not the best guitar player, though. But he was unique in his time. Nobody played like him when he was out, that's for sure. And at that time, he was the best guitar player. Colin says, Soph, and it also made my tourists worse. Your Tourette's worse. Tourette's and panic attacks? Well, you guys are made for each other. I'll do the ceremony if y'all want to get hooked. Patty says, there are 3 world ages. 1 spiritual, 2 our world age presently, and 3 the one that's coming. Same world, just the age change. Right. That's correct, Patty. We are in the age of dispensation now. Linda Davis says, best advice I ever received was to trust God. When you put your trust in people, you will most likely get hurt. True, Linda. But I have to say my dog is pretty loyal. Oh. Yeah, I don't trust anybody as far as I can throw them. That's good policy. Good policy to keep in mind. That being said, if you don't reach out, you live a very lonely life. So you got to trust a little bit, but trust what you know. That people have different levels. Some people you can trust with your life, but I wouldn't leave a $50 bill laying around. Some people you can trust with your money, but I wouldn't let them anywhere around your wife alone. know who you can trust and how you can trust them. And don't ever put it past anybody to screw you over, because they usually will. Cole says, never mind. Toted as a music channel, but no guitar or instruments seen. Nope, that wasn't him. Touted. Got it. Hi, Patty, says April. And Colin says, it makes me feel like I am going to die and my mom will leave me. Yep, that's a panic attack. You're not going to die. And your mom's not going to leave you as long as she's here. I can promise you that. But you got to control that. You got to breathe through it. Take time. Recognize what's happening. You're having a panic attack. Know that intellectually. Once you know that intellectually, you can control it intellectually. But you have to recognize what it is. And it would help you if you could figure out what's triggering it. April says, Linda, hello, lovely. Good to see you. And Soph says, when I have a panic attack, I always take deep breaths. As I said, breathe in 2 seconds through your nose and out 2 seconds through your mouth. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, just like that. And just keep doing that and focus on your breathing, nothing else. And it will eventually make your panic attack go away. And if you do that every time you have a panic attack and you manage to control it, it will stop happening. It is not beyond your control. It's mind over matter. That's not nice, William. Everything that's said in this chat is everybody in this chat's business. But I understand where you're coming from, but Jack's just trying to be helpful. John says, oh man, to compare Goodwin to Buddy Holly, that is a heck of a comparison. Well, it's true. That's what he looked like. He's a way better guitar player than Buddy Holly, but that's who he looked like. I think that was his idol growing up, so he intentionally looked that way, I guess. Amanda says, be respectful. Thank you. And April says, right on, Amanda, love. Thumbs up. And Colin says, Jake, oh, hang on, I'll find it. Where'd you go? I can't be that far behind. There we go. Jake woke up with keys in his ass, huh? It was when I was drinking, Colin. I don't do that anymore. Linda says, hi, April, how are you? And Terry says, the Mandarin joke. I think that one flew right over their heads. Pun intended. Because he's short. Mandarin. Yeah, I got it. It's funny. You got a good sense of humor, Terry. I like you. John says, it's a joke, but yeah, I know what Jake's talking about. Yes. Robert Thompson, welcome to the show. How do you get over someone? Get someone else. That's about the only way I know of. Or just live long enough. Robert, if you were actually in love with somebody and they broke your heart or you lost them or whatever it is, whatever your situation is, I don't know what your situation is, but I'm spitballing here. Trust me, I'm a collector. I do know these things. The best way to remedy lovesick blues is to go get laid. So, put on your best shirt and go to town. Meet somebody. Go talk to somebody. Go make a fool of yourself. Have fun. How old are you, Robert? I can tell a lot more about how old you are and what you should do. Jack says, Jake, I learned a lot. William told me to mind my business. I must be a kid. Well, no, be respectful. You just do what you're going to do, and I'll keep the peace. But I appreciate you sticking up for me there. But I'm pretty tough. I can handle it. Cole says, Terry, here's your channel. And Mark Gibby, welcome, says, I'm sorry. They are real. Panic attacks make you feel like you're dying. Yes, I never said they weren't real. They are real. I suffered from them, I know. But you can control them. And you're not going to die. You might feel like you're going to, but you're not going to. Here's a little thing that you can put in the back of your mind, all you that suffer from panic attacks. Put this in your pipe and smoke it, and I mean that literally. Internalize what I'm about to tell you. If you're going to have a heart attack, you're not going to know it. You will be dead. You're not going to feel it. You might feel a little pressure, and then it's over. That thing on TV where people grab their hearts and fall all over the place, that's not real. Heart attacks come very quickly. I've heard of people walking to check their mail and they just fall over in the driveway. It's done. Chances are, if it'll kill you, you won't even see it coming. It'll just happen. So the fact that you're suffering through a hyper-induced panic attack, your blood's running cold and you're seeing tunnel vision and your heart's palpitating out of your chest, that is a symptom of a psychological problem. Occasionally it's a symptom of angina, but you're too young for that probably. And if you're young, it's not a heart attack. It's a panic attack. Get that in your head. You're not going to die. You are growing, and you are changing, and hormones are raging, and you've been eating the food that they serve us for your whole life. It's a wonder you've lasted this long without something going wrong. Just breathe. You'll get through it. And eventually you'll grow out of it. LOL, Jake, I knew that was coming. Colin and Soph sitting in a tree. Kissing. Tablonine. That's what it says, tablonine. Do you worship Satan? Or what? No, I don't worship Satan, you moron. I don't know what that other word is. SMTH. Is that one of those young people things? Like shaking my head? I don't know what that is. But no, I don't worship Satan. I don't worship anybody other than God. And Amanda says, yes, Mark, you're right. There is a way to teach yourself to not have them, though. Correct. And I just explained how that way works. I know it sucks to hear somebody say, just breathe, man, because you don't understand. You don't know what I feel. Yes, I do. Just breathe. That's it. That's all there is to it. No secret. And John says, I like pot. I just don't like the lazy eating machine it makes me, right? I like the idea of pot. I really do. I wish I could be a pothead. I really, really do. I like the idea of just chilling and relaxing, but that is not what pot does to me. You want to see somebody panic? Give me a joint. I will panic. My body does not like to go in that direction at all. Panic. I freak out, man. I start hearing my internal monologue so loud that I think you can hear it too. Oh, yeah. And all the while, I got this look on my face. I don't like pot. Amanda says, I hear you, John. And Terry says, why did you link me, Cole? Because you're in the chat. He's sharing your stuff so that everybody in the chat has the opportunity to go see what you create. It's a community thing. You're part of the community, Terry. Cole says, Robert Thompson, easy answer. You don't. Well, if it's your first love, which is the sweetest love, it takes time. It takes care of the rest. Time takes care of the rest. Yes, it takes time. Time will heal all wounds. That's a lie, but you're supposed to say that, so I'm saying it. Time heals all wounds. You'll eventually get tired of hurting it, and you'll get over it. That's not true, but that's what you're supposed to say, so I'm saying it. Now, that being said, the best way to get over an old love is to have a new love. And the only way you can get a new love is to go find one. which takes time. And that is true. All right, William, now you're just trying to start a fight. We've already been through that. I know how you feel. You know how I feel. We've come to an impasse. Let it go. April says, Tab, we serve the Lord. That's correct. Who do you serve, Tab? I'm going to call you Tab because those L's are really trippy in your name. And John says, I will indulge a few times a year, my brother. In-law pressures meet at get-togethers. Are you telling me you fall prey to peer pressure, John? Are you a peer pressure type? Come on, all your friends are doing it. Don't be a sissy. Don't you want to be cool like me? Come on now. You know you like it. Colin says, Jake, I'll be back. I'm going to calm down. All right, go breathe. Mark says, my wife has them. She passes out from the panic attacks. It's awful. She hyperventilates and passes out. I keep smelly things. The smelly things that you break the strong scents, I keep those. Yeah. Mark, tell her to learn how to breathe. She's hyperventilating, which means the oxygen is overflowing her brain. The best thing she can do is breathe out through her mouth for 2 full seconds, or 3 if you can do it, and in through your nose the same amount of time. Even breaths. Control that flow, because that's what's causing you to have a panic attack, is your brain is working overtime, and that affects everything. But yeah, the smelling salts is a good idea. And it sucks that that makes her pass out like that, but if she can control her breathing, she can avoid passing out. John says, we all suffer from something. That is true. Everybody thinks their crow is the blackest, though. Also true. Mark says, pot kills people. Pot kills people's ambition. The I don't care about nothing drug. In some cases I agree with that. In some cases I don't. My brother-in-law smoked pot, and he smoked pot like I smoke cigarettes, like a chain smoker smoking pot, all day long, and he would work from daylight till dark every day, 7 days a week. Very motivated. I've known people that get highly motivated. I sense that they probably have something like ADHD, and that counteracts that, but I don't know that to be true because I'm not a doctor. But some people, it makes total couch vegetables. And some people, it actually pumps them up and makes them go. I don't know. It don't do that to me. I can promise you that. I'm useless and dumb, and I don't like being dumb. By the way, that link in the chat is a link to my album. If you guys want to hear some of my music, go download it. It's free. It's yours. It's a token of my appreciation for you being part of the show. A lot of hard work in that album, too, by the way. A lot of years. Cole says, I paint, work, and wrote 4 books and dozens of newspaper features. But it's a benefit to me after so many years. It does not turn me into a turnip unless I'm in the mood to be a turnip. Some people, they can do it. I can't. I would like to be able to do it. I'd love for, I like once a year I'll try it to see if anything's changed, and it hasn't. Once every 5 years. I hadn't done it in a while, but it just does not work for me. Like, I want to be one of those guys that smokes a doobie and gets up there and rocks the guitar and gets lost in that world and just plays good music because everything feels better. That's not the drug that does that for me. I don't know why. John says, I don't know about care. I don't care about nothing, but I get what you mean. Oh, I don't know about the care about nothing drug, but I know what you mean. Right. Jack says, I got to start eating good and taking care of ourselves. Let's get better. Go Trump. Much love. That's good advice, Jack. Eat well. Exercise. April says, Jack, I agree, love. And William, I'm not going to keep doing this. Mark says, I have my CDLs and no pot. Mark, you keep them CDLs. You're making money. Pot ain't worth it. Terry says, thanks for the music and thank you for giving Robin Williams. I appreciate that, Terry. The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life was Robin Williams live at the Met. If you get a chance to watch that, watch it. It's hilarious. It is 80s, so it's 80s jokes, but they are funny. And he's at his best live at the Met. John says, I'll be the best man at the wedding. Yes. Go, Colin. Amanda says, LOL, John. April says, well said, Jake. Thank you. Mark says, we live in the United States of the offended, right? You can't speak the truth anymore without someone getting pissed off and offended. It's so sad. Mark, you are correct. Jack says, what is your favorite movie and favorite food? I like Wawa and Popeyes. So favorite movie and food. Spaceballs and fried chicken. I have a lot of favorite movies, but that's one of them. And Amanda says, and to that, Mark, I say give them a glass of Get Over It and a big straw so they can suck it up. April says, breathing in a bag helps too. I don't know if that does. It does if you have a migraine because you're breathing carbon dioxide. And that helps with the migraine. I don't know if that helps for a panic attack, though. It might. It will slow your breathing because you're breathing carbon dioxide. So that may, I don't know. I did learn about that one time. There is science behind that, but I'm not sure if it'll help with a panic attack. It might. Try it. Doesn't hurt. Mark says, my poor brother-in-law just snorts a pain pill. I feel so sorry for him. I've tried to help him, man. Yeah, them pain pills are hard to get off. Believe me. Christine says, Mark Gibby, so true. John says, we could give a little O2 canisters as gifts to the groomsmen and bride. O2 canisters, yes. Nice. Soph says, Mark, sending prayers to you. I'm sorry that your brother-in-law is in pain. Nice, Soph. And John says, oh, and vitamin C drink mix, right? April says, facts. Terry says, thanks, Jake. Us Irish are known for our sense of humor. I like you, man. Keep the jokes coming. I will. Mark says, amen, you're right. And William says, Fred Sanford is the big one. This is the big one, Elizabeth. That's how old I am. April says, so go see a doctor now. Colquitt Cross says, correction. Angina, the onset of a possible attack, can last for days. I did say that. If you have any doubt versus panic, get checked. I've had patients with days after the attack, balance with own history. I did say that. I might have used a different word, but I was talking about angina. Mark Gibby says, LOL, yes, I had a double cheeseburger all the way tonight. Oh, yummy. It was good, but I know I should eat better. I had a piece of barbecue chicken and a potato today, for lunch. I haven't eaten anything else, but it was good. And a biscuit. Well, not a biscuit, one of those roll things that you get from the grocery store. Jack says, did sin come from Adam and Eve? No. They committed sin, but it came from Satan. He's the one that did the original tempting. Eve committed the first sin by ignoring the commandment of God. It's more complicated than that, but that's the Sunday school version. Here's what actually happened, from best as I can understand. Adam was created. A few weeks later, or however long it was later, Eve was created from Adam to be a helpmeet for Adam. This is a direct partnership in mind, right? God created Eve from Adam so that she can help Adam. She's part of him. She's from him, literally bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh kind of thing. He probably did it with DNA, but whatever. The word is curve, not rib. Anyway, I think the word would be talking about the helix curve of the DNA, but that's beside the point. I digress. Later, God says to Adam and Eve, this is the garden that I've given you. You can partake of anything in it you want. They use the word fruit in the Bible to talk about offspring or products of something, right? It's a metaphor. He says you can partake of any fruit in the Garden of Eden. This is the tree of life. That's Jesus Christ metaphorically. He says, but of this tree over here, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you must not touch that tree. You can't partake of that. That's metaphor for the tempter, Satan. He's put in the Garden of Eden with Jesus, metaphorically speaking, so that there is a choice before them. You understand that that's why you're here, to make a choice, to follow God or follow Satan. That's the only reason you exist. That's the meaning of life. That's why you're here. So, he gives them everything, including free will. Hands off. You do what you want to do, but these are my rules. You don't touch that. That's bad for you. That will lead to your death. The day you eat that, you will die. And then here comes Satan talking to Eve in the garden when she's off by herself. And he says, yea, hath God said. Much like most people do when they argue with you. They take the fact that you state and twist it into something you didn't say, because they're trying to get your goad. They're trying to get you to be as fallen as they. I'm not. I don't fall for those things. But Eve did. And she listened. And then, Bob's your uncle, a baby was conceived. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because most people don't teach this, but if you read the Bible, it's there. The long and short of the story is Eve had sex with Satan, and so did Adam. Now, here's the thing you need to be aware of, or one of the things. Eve was seduced. She was tricked. She was naive. She fell for the line. She was tricked. Adam knew full well what he was doing, and he did it anyway. There's the difference. That's why they were both punished, because he knew what was wrong. He knew he shouldn't do it, and he did it anyway. That's what happened. So you can extrapolate from that. Cain and Abel were paternal twins. They had the same mother. They were sired by two different people. If you think that's not possible, consult a doctor. It is possible. Not very likely these days, because our DNA is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy for 1,000 years or so. We aren't as good as they were. They had perfect DNA, so it was very possible. Dogs have a smaller gene pool, and they still can do that today. So I'd say consult a veterinarian and ask him if that is possible. The word is parthenogenesis, if you want to find out. That's also immaculate conception. Anything involving conception in an unusual way is parthenogenesis. So, Cain was born first, then Abel. And it says as much in the Bible. And again came Abel. They weren't born consecutively. They were born at the same time. But one came out first. There's that. 2,000 years later, Jesus Christ is talking to people who are descendants of Cain, the Kenites. His children grew up to be city builders, so that's what they did. And now they're what they're called the Pharisees in Jesus' time. Same people. And he says, you are of your father the devil. So he calls them out. He also calls them a den of vipers, snakes, which is what the serpent was in the Garden of Eden. They're a den of snakes from that snake. Their father, the devil. That's why he said that. That's the connection between the two. So it lasted all that time. That is metaphor for the evil that has flowed through the world because of disobeying God. Because in the day, the Lord's day, the 1,000-year period day, that's the only time that word is different. In the day that they eat thereof, they will surely die. And they did, because they lost their immortality that day. They lost their innocence that day. They lost their ability to be peaceful and harmonious that day, which is why they were thrown out of the garden, and the garden was protected. Nobody can ever go in that again because it's pure. That's the answer to that question. I hope it helps. I know that was long-winded, but there you go. I have no idea where I'm at now. Oh, there we go. I got it. Terry says, LOL, John, I hear you, brother. And Cold Creek Cross says, Terry, as a moderator, I'll post links, especially those in need of some love, but don't if channels have no content, unless upon request. Too busy for all just this night. But thank you, Cold Creek Croft. And April says, there was sin before Adam and Eve, but for us, yes, it was. Well, I just explained that the sin came from Satan. The first sin would be the fall of Satan because he became proud. And pride is a sin. It's a sin to the flesh. It's not one of the 10 Commandments. But it is a sin. It's a sin when you think that you can do better than God and take his job. That's a sin. That's called blasphemy. So I guess it is one of the 10 Commandments, if it's used in that manner. There's two kinds of pride, by the way. There's that kind of pride, the kind of pride you see on your TV screen every July or June. And then there's the other kind of pride where you're proud of your work. You feel a sense of accomplishment. You are honored to have what you have. You're proud. That's a different kind of pride. That's not the pride the Bible's talking about. The pride of thinking you're better or you're haughtier or elevated or exalted above God, that pride will get you killed. And I mean that spiritually. Terry says, I'm smiling laughing, Jake, the pot joke, right? It's true. I'm dumb on pot. I can't do it. I wish I could. Fab Daddy says, just a quick shout out to April. I love you. Happy Wednesday. Well, fine then. Don't talk to me. Just talk to April. Mark says, man, on weekends, I don't want to do nothing. Can't imagine smoking a joint, right? John says, dang, Jake, sounds like the bad company thing when you've smoked before. I've been there, but now I'm a bit more comfortable in my own skin. Yeah, that may be what it is, that I don't feel comfortable. Maybe it's the paranoia thing. I don't know why, but it makes me panic. I freak out. My body does not like to calm down like that. Amanda says, LOL, Jake, you make that what face? That face. April says, happy Wednesday, Fab Daddy. Much love. Terry says, when I smoke weed, I look like a Chinese sniper. If you catch my drift. Yes, I do. William says, okay, we'll agree to disagree. But that's fair. I mean, I happen to know what I'm talking about, but we can disagree. Amanda says, I was gonna say, you truly never get over your first love and end up spending the rest of your life chasing someone close to your first love. Sometimes, not always. That's actually very rare, and it's also even more rare that you catch them. But it does happen. Not to everybody. Not everybody gets that opportunity. So if you have that opportunity, you should consider yourself blessed and lucky, lucky, lucky because not everybody gets that. Ha ha ha, no, says John. I just relaxed with my brother-in-law. We have a sort of tradition, smoking and gorging at holiday gatherings. Hey, everybody goes outside and smokes a joint at my holidays too. I just don't partake because it doesn't do me right. You want to talk about ruining Thanksgiving? Get me high on Thanksgiving and see what happens. I will be the center of attention because I will be freaking out. Soph says, I'll speak to you tomorrow, guys. I'm off to the doctor's now. I will let you guys know how it went. Well, good luck, Soph. I hope you do well. And we'll see you Friday. We won't be here tomorrow. And Amanda says, bye, Soph. And Terry says, bye, Soph. Good luck at the doctor's. And Amanda says, depending on the strain of pot, it peps me up, too. Yeah, I've heard that. There's different kinds of pot, but I've only had the kinds that's been around, and I'm assuming there's been different kinds, and they all make me stoned, and I don't like it. I had never found one that felt good. And that cottonmouth thing, that's for the birds. Terry says, thanks, Cole. Gack City resident 91 says, you should listen to Cupcake. I don't know who Cupcake is. She's a very gospel singer. Her most well-known song is called CPR. You should check it out. It won a Grammy. Well, thanks for the information, Gack City, and I will check that out. Thank you. CPR, Cupcake. I'll look into it. I have some music pinned in the top of the chat if you want to download it. Enjoy. It's yours. Mark Gibby says, LOL, Terry. What is it? Says, God bless America. Welcome, what is it? And God does bless America. More than you know. Linda says, Jake, I had a major heart attack, and through it was a panic attack when it came on. And thought it was a panic attack when it came on. They ended up flying me to the trauma hospital, and I had surgery within an hour. And you're here. So that agrees with what I said, but that's terrible. I hope that's all fixed and you're good now. And what I said was, if you have a heart attack that will kill you, you won't see it coming most of the time. I didn't say all the time because things are variable, but most of the time you'll feel a pressure and then it's over. That's a major heart attack, the kind that you can't recover from. But yeah, there are all kinds of things that happen. I was talking to a young person when I said that. I didn't mean everybody would experience it the same way. I was talking to a person who is having panic attacks. And the reason I brought it up that way is because that's one of the things that causes you to panic is thinking you're dying. So if you can eliminate that thought, that will make it easier to control the panic attack, which is why I said it the way I said it. But I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. And I know that what I said was a little bit thin. Wasn't wrong, but it's a little thin. I agree. But I was talking to a young person who was having panic attacks, apparently. Terry M says, live at the Met. I'm going to watch that, Jake. Cheers. Please do. You will not regret it. It's the funniest thing you're ever going to see. I bet you especially will enjoy it. Whoa, I was right. Spaceballs. Then my chat jumped. I gotta find it again. I see you, Dana. Hey, Dana. I hadn't got to you yet, but I'm getting there. All right, I found it. Spaceballs and chicken. That's right. Terry says, Mark, smiling. And Amanda says, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and Super Chat is available in the chat box if you guys want to show some love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Amanda. Terry says, I'm glad you're okay now, Linda. Me too. Linda says, thank you, Terry. And what is it? Says, how about a handful of magic mushrooms? I'd be down to try that once. I tried it once already, but I don't think they were very good. For about 5 minutes, I felt like I could run around the world, and then it was over. I never tripped or anything like that, so I don't think they were any good. I did feel good, but I didn't see anything. It's also possible that I can't hallucinate. I don't know. Fab Daddy says, I just planned a trip into the mountains tomorrow, swimming in the river. I will take some video. Please do, and that will be a great video. I'd love to see that. Jack says, we need to support each other. Where is all my good people at? Well, they're all here in the chat, Jack. All the good people are here. Don't you know that? This is the best place on planet Earth. The Earth, the actual dirt. This is it. Jack, Terry says, the shrooms are good for you in small doses. Yeah, I've heard that. There's some psychotropic elements about mushrooms that positively affect the brain and can also help with addiction and all sorts of things, actually, including ego issues, which is one of the things that causes panic attacks. I mean ego as in ego and id, not ego as in cocky. There's ego, there's super ego, and there's id. Guess which one I am? Buck's Backyard Toys. Welcome back, Waycross. Waycross, Georgia, back in the house. Good to see you, Buck. Terry says, we're all here. Jack, that's right. All the good people are here. Mark says, all these live streams, this is the only one that's good. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. God bless you. Bill, welcome. How are you? He says, hi, y'all. Amanda says, thanks, Mark. We try. We do try. Amanda says, hi, Bill, Terry. And hi, Bill. Amanda says, hi, Bill. And Terry says, hi, Bill. I didn't see the green there. The blue and the green tricked me. Mark says, some of this crap on these live podcasts are straight trash. That's true, and I try to do something informative every time. I'm not very good at structure, and I read the chat, and I try to build a narrative based on what we're talking about, a through line. I don't know if I'm ever successful or if you guys feel that, but I try very hard to put something out there into the world every time we get together. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm doing the best I can do. Amanda says, Mark, glad to have you here. And yes, we are. April says, hi, Bill, hearts and smiley faces. And Mark says, you're welcome. Jesus Christ, it's 10:16. How did it get so late? Dana, welcome to the show, sweetie. She says, greetings and hi, Dana. Good to see you. Dana, there's a link in the top of the chat. That is my album. If you would like to have it, go download it. It's yours. Some Jake Johnson music right there. Amanda says, hey, Dana, hon. Linda Davis says, when I had my brain aneurysm, I thought it was vertigo. Both times, if I didn't listen to my sister, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, my mom had vertigo one time, and it turned out to be, I forget what they called it. It's initials, like CRS or something like that, but it's little mini strokes, like cigarette burns in your brain. I can't remember what they called it, but she had that, and that's what caused her vertigo. And so I'm glad you listened to your sister, because that could have been rough. Mark says, me too. I love this podcast. Well, God bless you, and I love you too. And Dana says, Amanda, heart. Bill says, thanks for the music, Jake. You're absolutely welcome, Bill. It's for everybody if you'd like to have it. There's the link in the top of the chat. Go get it. It's yours. Much love. It's a token of my appreciation for you being so supportive of me. And I mean that. That album is made with love. Even though there's only one original song on it, it's still a good amount of songs for free. I put a lot of work into that thing. A lot of years learning. I did everything on that album, by the way. There were other people involved, but I had my fingers in all of it. So I learned how to do it. I made it happen, and there it is. So I hope you enjoy it. And April says, Dana, how are you, love? Heart. Amanda says, I hope you enjoy it, Bill. I hope so, too. And that first song, the first track on that album is a teaser for what's coming next, which will be my actual album, which has all original songs on it. Terry says, April is my favorite name. If you have a daughter, if I have a daughter, I'm gonna call her April May. April May. I like it. Grows on you. Terry says, hi, Dana. Mark says, big words. Wow. Huh? Who's big words? What are you talking about, Mark? I did not catch what you're referring to. April says, Terry, oh, thanks. That's so nice. Amanda says, LOL, Mark. He's awesome with big words. I must have said a big word. I didn't even realize I did it. Mark says, not being a smarty, but impressive. What are we talking about? And Terry said, are you talking about the title of the show? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Triskaidekaphobia. That is the irrational fear of the number 13. And other nauseating numbers like 23, 42. That's the answer to everything. Read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You'll understand. Kenites, says Patty. Correct. Kenites, descendants of Cain. The reason they don't call them Canaanites is because they're people from the land of Canaan, which is not of Cain. It's a different name. That's why they made the distinction. Amanda says, Mark, Jake is a very intelligent person. Somebody knows who they're talking to. Dana says, Eve was beguiled, deceived. Adam was not. Adam became the great accuser when he asked God why he did it. Yeah, Adam knew what he was doing. Eve was tricked. Absolutely. The word in Greek is expatio, which means wholly seduced. That's the meaning of the word, wholly, completely seduced, which means she fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Ladies, stop listening to snakes. That's my advice to you. Because they'll trick you. They're tricky little shifty bastards. And Adam went along with it. He knew what he was doing, and he did it anyway. That's why he was punished. And by the way, if you think I'm wrong about the fact that they had sex, why did they cover their private parts with fig leaves if they ate an apple? Shouldn't they have covered their mouth? They didn't. They covered their junk. Why? Mark says, yes, I can tell. And April says, yes, that I'm intelligent. Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you. I'm not. I just remember stuff. Amanda says, and so knowledgeable. Again, I just remember stuff. Most of the talking ain't me. And Linda says, my girlfriend had twins that were actually fertilized at different times, yet born the same day. Exactly, Linda. It is possible. It's not very likely these days for things like that to occur in humans because our DNA is so spread out, so thin, so corrupted with, mixing. There's a very thin gene pool. But dogs are a lot closer together. They have a lot less transitions in their DNA. So they're still capable of doing it. Cats, too. If you don't believe that, go to my channel and look at my cat videos and my shorts and look at the cats that I have. They're all feral cats. They're all born wild and they live wild and I just feed them. They're their own cats, actually. They're not my cats. But look at them. Look at them closely. And then go watch other people's cat videos and tell me how many of the exact same cats you end up seeing. It's because they're identical. That's a bloodline thing. And so, Adam and Eve experienced one of those bloodline things. They're being the first DNA, so it was perfect. It didn't have any junk in it. It wasn't mixed up or diluted in any way. And their pregnancy resulted in twins. And there just happened to be two sires involved in that twin making, and they both took. And Dana says, Adam accused Eve and God at the same time, saying, the woman. Right. When in doubt, blame the woman. Whom thou gavest me, whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Yes. Yes, the first thing Adam did was blame his wife. Smart man. Bad move, Adam. Adam was not deceived, correct. What does that say? Is that 1 Timothy 2:14? I'm not exactly sure what TI is, but yeah. But the woman being deceived was in the transgression, yes. And if you'll go back through to Genesis, when God is chastising her, notice what he says to her, which is very important. That's the key to what the fruit is. When they talk about the fruit that they ate of, what is it? It's not an apple. I'll give you a hint. God put enmity between her seed and his seed. Which seed do you think they're referring to? Enmity means sin. So I put sin between your seed and the seed of your offspring. That's what he's saying. And there you have it, folks. Sex in the first book of the Bible. Lots of it. And John says, I wonder what made Lucifer and others angels try to defeat God, and what made them think they could beat the Creator. They did not try to defeat God. They tried to usurp God. There's a difference. They couldn't beat God, but they wanted to do what God does. They wanted to sit where he sits, have his authority. And it was Lucifer that decided he wanted that. God designed the angels with that in mind. I'll tell you how I know this to be true. It's not in the Bible. You're not going to find a reason for it in the Bible. But darkness has no value in the absence of light, and light has no meaning in the absence of darkness. In order for light to be valuable, you must have darkness. In order for good to be valuable, you must have wicked. In order for free will to occur, you must have a choice. A good way and a bad way. Yin, yang. A little bit of your yang in your yin and a little bit of yin in your yang. Two halves of the same coin. That's how I know. So God created all of this. And also, several times in the Bible, I'm sure Dana can tell you exactly what verse, God says several times, not once, but several times, I created evil. I did this evil thing. I'm paraphrasing on that one, but he literally said, I created evil. So I know he did. And he created it within the angels. Somebody was going to do it. It turned out to be Lucifer. Now, why do I say it that way? Well, because the Bible says that God sees the end from the beginning, which means he can see the whole thing play out. But he gave you free will, which means you have a destination and a beginning. But whatever happens in the middle is up to you. Right? So you're going to end up where you're going to end up regardless. There's nothing you can do to stop that. You will end up where you end up. But how you get there is entirely up to you. That's free will. It's free will within the parameters of what's already been set up, the world and the existence of it. So, hopefully that helps. Bill says, what I can't figure out is where did Cain find women? Well, it says. All right. I can tell we're going to go into Bible study tonight. All right. Here's the thing. In the Bible, in Genesis, if you read the first page, it appears that the creation of man happens twice. They repeat themselves, but they don't. If you read it in Hebrew, the first word is ℂ-Adam, which means man of the people, a man of the dirt. Right? The next word is Adam, which is the man of the dirt. So ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝 is like the men, like mankind of the dirt. And the second one is the man of the dirt. So when Adam was created, there was already all the races here on earth. Adam was the first Adamic race, the first bloodline that Jesus would come through, the first whatever bloodline that is. It turned into being the 12 tribes of Israel, but it started with Adam. So the 12 tribes came from Adam. But everybody else on earth was created at the sixth day. So it says that when Cain became an adult, let's say 18 to 20 years, he went to the land of Nod to take a wife. Nod could be the name of a city, a region. The word transliterates to literally mean wandering, so he could have just went off wandering around till he bumped into somebody and he took a wife. That's what the word Nod means, to wander. Anyway, there were already cities here. There were already people establishing lives. So they'd been here a while. There you go. That's where he found his wife. Now, if you want to listen to the early fathers of our religion who did not understand the Bible in its entirety, they would say that Cain married his sister because Adam and Eve had lots of sisters. And that's not entirely impossible, because before Moses, incest was not a sin. Now, we had this discussion before, and it tripped people out, and I think Dana was in on it, and she got a little upset at me for saying it, but it's true. It is not morally wrong at that time to sleep with a sister or a cousin or whomever. It is physically wrong, because when Moses was writing the law, that's one of the things God told him. Now, you can't do that. Why? Well, because now, remember the perfect DNA up until that point. Now the DNA is so thin that if you sleep with a sibling, you're most likely going to have a reject. You're most likely going to have a degradation to the DNA, which will cause birth defects. That's why you shouldn't do it. And also, it's gross. So, creepy. Anyway, before Moses was not a sin. So it's perfectly, Abraham was married to his half-sister. So there you go. Lot had sex with his daughters. He didn't. They had sex with him, but he was drunk and passed out, but that's beside the point. They weren't punished for that because it's not morally wrong. It is physically wrong, not morally wrong. Hope that helps. Okay, I got to get to the bottom of this chat. It's encroaching onto my bedtime. Whipmaster Hart says, "What's up, gang? Praise the Lord for another day." Amen, Whipmaster. Good to see you again. Amanda says, "Hi, Whip." Mark says, "I smell the stuff every day. I work outside and haul heavy equipment, and I smell so much pot on the roads coming from people's cars." Yep, it's out there. Terry says, "Hello, Whipmaster." And Dana says, "Eve was honest and told the truth to God. The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Adam became the accuser and accused the woman and God at the same time. It's your fault. You did this to me, God," which is what people do. This is a moral story, and the reason it's in the Bible is because you have to understand people. And the first thing they do when they get in trouble is blame somebody else. And the idea is to overcome that. But logically speaking, that's the case. Literally speaking, you're absolutely right. Adam blamed everybody but himself for his actions, and he suffered the consequences. So did Eve. And the consequences are gruesome. They had it really good in the garden. They didn't have to suffer. Babies would just pop out of her. She wouldn't have any pain. They didn't even sweat in the Garden of Eden. Adam spoke every language in the world and was married to the hottest chick on the planet. Bible joke, sorry. Amanda says, "I'm truly blessed and lucky." Yes, you are. Jack says, "Thanks, man." Crap. Hang on. I'll get back to it. "Thanks, man. I learned a lot about Adam and Eve. I like the way you break it down. You're the man. Thanks. You can play your song whenever you're done," to the end of the chat. Well, thank you. But you can go download it for yourself That link in the top of the chat box there is a link to my album, and that song is on it. So go download it. It's yours. Mark says, have you ever smelled mothballs? I tried once, but their little legs are so hard to get apart. It's really complicated. Terry? Jack says, today was a good chat. I learned a lot. Thanks, peeps. Much love. Jack, peace. Mark says, how did you get his little legs apart? I got you. I was there first. LOL, Mark, says Amanda. I shut my coffee cup. I'm sitting here trying to suck on a closed lid. LOL, says Mark. What is it? Says addiction is a mofo. Yes, it is. I sympathize with anybody that suffers from that. Shrooms are awesome with Hershey bars. Ooh. I've never had good shrooms, but I'd like to try. I'd also like to try ayahuasca one time, talk to dolphins and ride rainbows and stuff. But I'm kind of scared of it too, because I'm scared I'll have one of those freaky trips and never come back from it, because I got that kind of mind. I'd probably go to a really dark place. Whipmaster says, who all from Georgia in the chat? I'm from Middle Georgia. I know some folks don't like to tell where they are from, but I was wondering. Well, we don't mind telling you what state we're from. We don't want to get too close to where we live, but the ballpark is good. And there is Waycross, Georgia in the house. Buckshot's here. Buck's Backyard Toys is here. And I'm sure there's some other people. And by the way, I'm from Georgia. That's my hometown. Right there in the middle. At the top. Sandersville. That's where I was raised. I went to college in Milledgeville. What? He went to college? Who'd have thunk it? Amanda says, I'm south of you, Whip. In Florida. And Mark says, I can't remember shit. I have CRS bad. Me too, Mark. Me too. I have forgotten more than I'll ever learn again. Mark says, sorry, I shouldn't cuss. No, you shouldn't, but that's okay. This is Wednesday. And despite the fact that we always end up talking about the Bible because somebody's got some serious questions all over the world need to be answered. And so they ask, and I answer, and then we go into a big thing. Despite that, this is a chill stream, so you're welcome to be a little looser tonight than if we were doing a Bible study. And Amanda says, I feel you on that, Mark. And Dana says, much love, dear April Rain, heart. And hi, Terry, heart. Dana, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for being you, Dana. I hope you enjoy the music. April says, nice. And Amanda says, you're good, Mark. We have an open chat. We just ask that you respect the ladies, but enjoy and speak your mind. Right. It's easy. Jack says, Jake, ain't you hungry or need to use the bathroom? I'm just saying. Well, yes. But y'all just keep on. And I'm going to keep on too for a little while. I am about to go, though. TIS, trans ischemic stroke. I think that might be it. Yeah. I couldn't remember exactly what they called it, but it was initials like that, and it may have very well been that one. Mark says, I agree. Thank you, Linda. Mark says, big words again. Terry says, how do you know he's not sitting on the bog right now, Jack? How do you know I'm not wearing any pants, Jack? Is that what you guys call it, the bog? I like that. Very ancient. John says, all right, folks, I'm whooped. It's time for a shower in bed. Good night to y'all. Go with God. Vaya con Dios, my friend. Vaya con Dios. And Amanda says, he's a fan of big words. Sometimes he says a word and I'm like, what? Explain that one, LOL. To which he replies, Google it. No, I don't do that. I'll tell you. But I won't tell you the exact thing because I don't remember the exact thing. I'll tell you what it means. Amanda says, I read that one. Patty says, Jake, Elizabeth is so beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you, Patty. I hope you enjoy it. It's yours to download if you want it. It's right there in the chat. Link is at the top. Terry says, good night, John. And Amanda says, Jack, he just pinches it off. Pinch it off and go for a run. Amanda says, night, John. Terry says, crying, laughing, Amanda. Mark Gibby says, never thought of it that way. Covering their junk. That's what they did. They were embarrassed. Why were they embarrassed? Because they got caught doing something that you do with your junk. That's why they covered it. Simple. If they ate, they would have covered their mouth. Mark says, so the devil Scrooged Eve, or both Adam too? Yes. I don't know the exact details, but just know that they were all three involved. It might have got freaky in the Garden of Eden is what I'm saying. I don't know for sure, but I know they were involved. And I know Eve got pregnant, and Abel was not the devil's son, but Cain was. So, something happened. Maybe it was one of those turkey baster accidents. I don't know. Amanda says, just Eve. Nope. Sorry. It's Adam and Eve. Whipmaster Hart says, Amanda, it is hot enough down there for you. Is it hot enough down there for you? It's Hades hot here, gal. It's pretty hot, Whipmaster. By the way, Whipmaster, are you male or female? That would greatly translate how I would talk back to you if I knew. Mark Gibby says, oh, okay. Used it like a control thing over her. I bet. Could have. I don't know all the details, Mark, but I know that the end result is what happened. Amanda says it's beyond hot here and so humid and sticky. I just hate it when it's sticky. I'm in Central Florida, so it really sucks. Mark says, big word alert. Enmity. 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 Sin. Just say sin. That's what it means. Enmity. Amenities? No. It's one of those tricky words. Amanda says, then it rains for 5 minutes, and then sunshine, and then rain, off and on, all day. Makes it even worse. Yeah, because it don't cool down. It just keeps getting muggy, muggy, muggy. April says, amen. And Dana says, Isaiah 45:7. I form the light, and I create the darkness. There's God saying it right there. I make peace, and I create evil. Thank you, Dana. I knew you knew the right verse. I, the Lord, do all these things. That's the verse in Isaiah. I think we're actually in the book of Isaiah in Bible study, too, so come by and check that out. Anyway, that's it. That's the thing. Terry says, I heard that about Florida, like one big swamp. I haven't been to America, but I've been in some states. How can you have been in states if you hadn't been to America? Or does that say something else? America? I think you meant America. Yeah, it's hot down south in America. Up north, it stays cooler most of the time, but it does get hot occasionally. And out west, it stays the same degrees all the time. They don't even know what rain is in California, I don't think. Mark says, big word alert. Yes, Mark. We say big words. Terry says, America. Sorry. It's 3:28 a.m. in the morning here. I hear you, Terry. Thank you for hanging out with us, by the way. Amanda says, well, being surrounded by water and the state being full of lakes It's ridiculous. And Linda says, good night, Terry. And Amanda says, wow, Terry, it's 10:30 here. Right? Patty says, 6-day creation. That's right. You got it. Mankind was created on the 6th day. Adam was created on the 8th day. My guess. 10:30 p.m. Mark says, also another reason I love this podcast. I'm from North Carolina, born and raised. Mark, I'm in North Carolina currently. Amanda says, nice, Mark. You and Jake are neighbors then. Probably. Probably ain't too far away. Crazy that stuff went on. Yes, it is. Trey Rawlings, what do you think of the ℕ𝕬𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝 Gospels? I don't have any idea what that is, Trey. Can you be more specific? If it's not in the King James Bible, I haven't read it. Well, that's not true. I've read lots of things, but not the Gospels. Mark Gibby says, mine too. And Bill says, see you guys. Bill, thanks for being with us, buddy. Good to see you. Amanda says, night, Bill. Mark says, bedtime. Damn it. Bedtime, that is, says Mark. Well, good night, everybody. Good night, Bill, says Linda Davis. Terry says, yep, I can't sleep. I'm trying to get off pain meds. It's hell. Terry, I feel you, brother. I do. It is hard, but you can do it. You just got to be strong, put your faith in God, and take it one day at a time. I'm talking to you from experience. So, handle it. It's going to suck, though. God bless you, and I hope that you have a easy time of it. You won't, but I hope you will. Amanda says, I hear you, Terry. Good luck, man. April says, thanks. Mark says, ha, he got the joke. I did. Good legs. Terry says, I only took them for 14 days. They get you quick. I feel like someone's ripping my bones out, and the bed sweats are a nightmare for 14 days. That's it? I take back everything I just said. Ninny, get up and be a man. I was on them things for 20 years. Very powerful medication. Enough to kill a horse. Quick, cold turkey. It was not fun. Yeah, it's hard, Terry. And they do get you quick. And I hope that you can get away from them and stay away from them. If you don't need them, don't take them. Amanda says, dang, Terry, I've been fortunate. I've never had withdrawals from anything. But not really ever had major pain either. I've never had a major addiction either. Yeah, you are lucky. You're very lucky. I hope you never have one. Terry says, well, good night, all. God bless. Love from Northern Ireland. Look out for the bonfires in Northern Ireland, especially the biggest of all in Larne County, Antrim, Northern Ireland. We will be looking for it, Terry, and thank you. And if you get some photos or a video of it, send it to untetheredlivestream@gmail.com, and I'll post it on the chat. Or on the show, rather. And good to meet you. Come back and see us. Hit that subscribe button so you know when I'm online. Amanda says, night, Terry. And Jack says, did anyone ever sleepwalk, chat? Yes, once, that I'm aware of. My sister says I did anyway. I don't think I did, but she says I did. She says I went into the kitchen, opened up the refrigerator, grabbed a bottle of ketchup and turned it up and went gulp, 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 and put it back in and went back to bed. I didn't drink it. I was mimicking it because apparently I thought it was the tea pitcher. I don't believe that, but that's what she says. So, yeah, I've sleepwalked once that I know of. Terry says, I'm going to fall asleep to Robin Williams live at the Met. That's a good way to fall asleep, but you're not going to fall asleep. If you're watching that, you're going to laugh your tail off all the way through it. Very funny. Very fast talker. Whipmaster says, I'm corn-fed male honky, sir. I hear you. I didn't know. I was just asking. But now I know. And knowing is half the battle. I'm corn-fed too, by the way. Good old boy. Mark says, explain that other pride thing. That other pride thing is the devil, like a little earwig, wheedling its way into your head. It's a cult is what it is. It's a way of thinking. It's an ideology. It's a religion. And you see the fruit of that religion. It's a mind virus, baby. That's what it is. And if you're not careful, you can catch it. You must put the shield or the armor of God on at all times. That means know the word, know right from wrong, study your Bible, have his words in your head, ready to fight when those things come up against you, because you'll need them. Amanda says, LOL, whip, corn or cornbread, LOL. Corn-fed or cornbread fed? That's a different. Mark says, homosexual stuff spawned from that too, I assume. I assume that the desire of it did, yes. I believe that was primarily started or made popular in Sodom and Gomorrah, which is where you get the word sodomite from, Sodom, the city Sodom. I don't know what a Gomorrite is, but it's probably gruesome. Whipmaster says, either or, Amanda. Either or. What about neither nor? Jack says, can we start from the top of the chat? Who got the gold star? Amanda did. And no, I'm not going back through that again. Amanda says, LOL, Whip, that's awesome. I did, Jack. Got the gold star. Patty says, good night and thanks for being here tonight. Being there tonight. Thank you, Patty, and good night and God bless you. And Dana says, enmity is a feeling or condition of hostility, deep hatred, ill will, animosity, i.e., sin. Yes, it's a bad way to look at someone else. Thank you for the clarification, Dana. I count on you heavily. I appreciate you being able to pop those words up and get the meanings out for everybody to see and know that I'm not crazy when I say things. So thank you for that. Honestly, thank you. And Amanda says, night, Patty. And Jack M says, good night. Can you read a bedtime story, please? Sure. Jack and Jill went up the hill. They each one had a quarter. Jill came down with 50 cents. You think they went up for water? The end. Go to bed. Linda says, good night, all. Good night, Linda. God bless. Caucasian Sasquatch. Hi. What's up, buddy? Amanda says, night, Jack and Linda. I was getting so close. There it is. Amanda says, hi, Caucasian. And Terry says, it's a word play. I haven't been to America, but I've been to some states. Oh, I see. Look at the state of you. Those types of states. Right. I've been in some states. Yeah, I get it. A state of confusion. Went right over your head. Yeah, even smart people can be dumb. It's a good one, though. Now that I see it, it's funny. Caucasian says, Amanda. Whipmaster says, I got a cousin from Kakalaki, Morehead City, North Carolina. That's about 60 miles from me. Morehead City. I used to play down there every weekend. Down on Emerald Isle, the beach down there. Right just past Morehead, Havelock, and all that place up there. New Bern. Caucasian says, Terry, that's tough, but not impossible. It can be done, and don't give up. That's right. Talking about them meds, kicking them meds. You can do it. And good luck with that, Terry. I'm a lightweight. Nah, I was just teasing you, but seriously, don't let that become a problem because it gets way worse. If you think it's hard now, stay on them a while and you'll see. Don't do that. Amanda says, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and Super Chat is available in the chat box if you'd like to show some love. I would appreciate that if you have it. Terry says, thanks, Caucasian. Jack says, do you have a nice prayer for us? Yes. Yes, I do, Jack. Are you ready? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. There's you a nice prayer. I probably messed it up on the spot. Jack says, I read that one. Whitmaster says, Amanda is the gold star. She is a gold star in my book. The little black one. 3 of them. Mark says, enmity, I have it bad against my ex-wife and her husband. They committed adultery, and I divorced her. Does God bless that union, or is it still adultery? It is still adultery. And when you marry, you are married. The Bible clearly states that what God puts together, no man can tear asunder, which means you're married for life. Now, if you choose to do other things, you better ask for forgiveness because you've just committed adultery, because you've already been married. There's only one marriage. If you get married again, now that's not a deal breaker because God himself is a divorcee. He divorced Israel after marrying it, metaphorically speaking, but it's there. So he himself understands what it means to lose love. So it's not like you're going to go to hell for marrying again. But it is a sin, and you should ask for forgiveness and go your way. And what she did was wrong, and she will pay the price for that. But I would imagine God blesses every union in some way, whether they're right or wrong, because he loves us, even though we're evil. Terry's crying, laughing. Mark Gibby says, I've remarried, but we had 3 kids and were married for 10 years. It destroyed the family. Yeah, that's terrible, Mark. I'm sorry. It's always rough when you don't get it right. Christine says, have a good night, everybody. Good night, Christine. Thanks for being here. Amanda says, night, Christine. Terry says, I'm crying, laughing a lot. Christine says, heart and thumbs up. Terry says, amen, the Lord's Prayer. That's a good prayer, isn't it? Amanda says, amen. Terry says, you didn't mess it up too bad. Yeah. I was on the spot. I'm lucky I remembered it at all. Amanda says, oh, Jake, thanks. A star and a ray of sunshine. That's right. A female deer, doe shining bright in the sun. Da, 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 da. I don't know what that came from. Jack says, thanks for the bedtime story. See you next time. Going to get something to eat and use the bathroom. Too much coffee. Yeah. Amanda says, night, Jack, and I made it. All right. I got to go to bed. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. God bless each and every one of you. May his love abound in your lives, and may his blessings and his grace light your footsteps every which way you want to go. While you're out there going, be nice to somebody on purpose. Do it. Just go up and be nice. Just be available. Be nice. Smile. Open the door for somebody. Give a bum a sandwich. Whatever it is you do, just be nice. And I promise it'll change your life. Now, download that album at the top of the chat before I get out of here if you haven't done so already. The link will always be the same. You'll always have it available if you just want to go there and listen to it, or you can download it. Either way you want to do it. I hope you enjoy it. And look out for my album coming out very soon at some point. Have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. I love you true. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for watching.